football, bloody hell. And yeah,
Plural.
bloody hell. Bit of a... This is episode 6 of season 2, but bit of a milestone we hit this week, didn't we?
It is, mate. We did.
The pod's 1 year old.
Unbelievable.
It's finally out of its nappies.
Yeah. We're still infantile, though. Still very...
Still very young.
infancy.
Naive, you could say.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But how are you doing,
But
guys?
yeah, a year. I don't know.
Do we have a cake?
Well, I had some chocolate Swiss roll yesterday.
There we go.
That counts.
Yeah.
Close enough.
That'll do, yeah. Put a candle in it.
Well, the only reason I ate it last night is because it went out of date that day, so it had to be eaten.
Well, there you go. You celebrated with a bit of cake last night. I had a brownie in the office on Wednesday, so yeah, there we go. I
mean,
brownie and a toffee crisp. That was.
But happy birthday, mate!
Yeah, happy birthday.
We've done it.
Yeah, we have. We've made it to a year. Everyone thought we'll only do 2 episodes, then fuck each other off because we'll be annoyed. But no, we've
still
made it to
going.
a year. If we can do a year, we can do 10 years. That's what I say.
That's ambitious, yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I just had a 0 on the end, but yeah.
Yeah.
Very ambitious.
Well, we've done. It's more of a case if we've done 1 year, we may as well do some more. That's the outlook I've got.
Yeah.
That's the ambition. But yeah, here we are. We've had a bit of a playoff bonanza, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
But today, or on this episode of the pod, it's more kind of gearing up now because, like I said last time, thank God the season's over.
Yeah,
because
we felt a bit exhausted after that season, didn't we? Fatigued. Yeah, it's like running a marathon for 8 months. I think that's one way to put it, isn't it?
But I don't know what's better. I think do you want your season to be going to the last day? It does make it more exciting, but from a person who supports a team, you're the same, who supports a team that has been competing at the bottom of a league or the top of a league every season. That's all I've ever known. So it was a bit monotonous from February, really, because we weren't going up, we weren't going down. It was just ugh. It was like being like Preston, what a Preston fan or a Borough fan for the past 6 years has been like, just obscurity. So I'll enjoy it because I think I do prefer that, but at the same time, it's in me sadistic ways. I think it's better to be competing for something, whether that's survival in the life of your club or promotion. But
yeah. But I mean, also there comes with a little bit of stability. Sometimes when you're a team like us or yourselves, having a season where you just finish in the middle is actually quite nice.
Yeah, there's an argument for both, I would say. I'm not trying to say one's better than the other, but
I'd rather have a season where it looks like from the first 6 games that you're probably going to finish in the middle, rather than going, let's flirt with promotion and then disappoint everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, so we've had the playoffs, and to be honest, I know we normally do a new segment, but let's just dive straight into it because we've had so much football. I mean, again, I say we're not like a Premier League pod, but again, Manchester City's won. This is one thing I'll kind of go slightly off topic with, but with Man City winning the league, and I'm kind of enjoying it, but I also see the point of what people are making. But are you bothered that Man City's won the league 4 times in a row? And regardless of the charges, let's not get into that, because regardless of them buying all the players, you've still got to do it. You've still got to be the best team. You've still got to play well consistently.
Yeah, if we throw this out there and say it was Arsenal that won the league 4 times in a row, would you be bothered?
No, not really.
No, you wouldn't be, would you? So I think the charges...
But I suppose the opposite side of that, though, Matt, is...
charges sort of go... Yeah, but if we ignore that, it's... Yeah, they won it 4 times in a row. But they've not walked it.
I know it's been like it's like Arsenal, like for example, they were the closest going in. Well, they took it to the last day. I think everybody knew they weren't going to win
Well,
it
if
based off of
Liverpool
the
didn't fuck
fixtures.
up like a couple of weeks ago against Palace or whatever,
True.
they would have won the league because all they needed to do was win every game to the end of the season. And they would have finished first. So it's
I like there's such a big deal, and I mean I know the 115 charges everyone bangs on about is like a stain on it, like especially if they get found guilty of it, which I don't think they will. I think somehow they'll get away with it, but it does mar it slightly.
That's
but
why we'll be happy when all those top six fuck off and then they
can go into the Super League,
and then we can have a more competitive English system where people don't have to cheat to get to the top. But yeah,
and let's be honest, the people who are moaning about this as Man United fans who dominated English football for like the recent times.
That's the thing.
Like this millennium.
I think they were saying that Man City have won 7 out of the last 8 Premier Leagues. Yeah.
Mm.
In the 90s, at one point, Man United won 7 out of the 8 Premier Leagues.
Yeah. It's yeah.
And then
that's why I'm not too fussed about it, because it's just like sour grapes. Like, oh, boo-hoo, Man United, you haven't won a title. Your rivals have won it. So
the same thing was being said about Man United in the 90s. They were like Sky
and 80s for Liverpool,
basically, and because they were the money maker for their new product, they just thought, fuck it, we'll just bankroll them and they'll win the league.
Yeah,
like, there was talks about that then. So.
But congrats to Man City, nonetheless, because you still have to do it. Because, like, again, like, you could spend a fortune. Look at Paris Saint-Germain. Like, they don't need to spend a fortune in that league, but they really struggled at stages. And actually, one thing I do wanted to say, it's just reminded us, what a fucking turnaround for Lyon.
Yeah.
What an unbelievable season they've had. Stuck by the gaffer, fans screaming at them on the pitch and that. Ultras going crazy. Didn't win a game and then were rock bottom after like the first 10 to 12 games.
We thought they'd be relegated, didn't we?
It was horrendous, and then they qualified for Europe. Unbelievable. Like, that is so good. I mean, like, what a turnaround.
Could you say the same about Chelsea have had a good turnaround, to be fair, to finish 6?
I think that's more Pochettino's decision, you know. I think he's seen it and just thought, he knew he was going. Yeah, I think there's obviously been a conversation and some like assurances that he wanted that the owners not give him, and yeah, I think he's always knew his foot was out the door. So, and again, like, for all, Chelsea's been slagged off all season, in some cases rightly so. Finished above Man United, finished above Newcastle, who finished in the Champions League last season. Like, fair play, and I don't think Poch will be short of jobs now if it does come up, because I think he's redeemed himself and he's went into it.
I genuinely think, though, that Chelsea are just one of those clubs that are doomed to fail a little bit, because the idea of bringing in all those young players, if you were a football person, you knew full well they were going to take at least half a season to gel, because they've made a whole new team, haven't they, essentially?
Yeah, absolutely.
And what has happened is they've taken half a season to gel, had a few half-decent results, inconsistency for quarter, and then the last quarter of the season they've been fantastic, and they've taken themselves from 14th to 6th to finish 6th, which is impressive considering how bad they were for the first half of the year.
Yeah.
And then Todd Bowley comes in and just manager's gone. I don't know if he's fired, but he might have walked.
It's mutual consent,
It's mutual consent. That's the same they said again at our end, like the other last year. But then that was a firing. But then, like, you think that's took them back to square one, because next year they would be going in as a gelled team and like pushing on, maybe, as a consistent team like they've shown for the last quarter of this season. But now they're going to get a new manager, new ideas. Players are going to leave. New players are going to come in, and they're going to go back to where they were. So they'll have probably a poor start, and then they'll might pick up. But why do you want that? I feel like Todd Bowley doesn't have a clue. He does sign players off Twitter, and I recognise it.
We tried to test that theory. Yeah. That was a FBH.
That's my piece on Chelsea. I don't care about them much, to be honest. But well done, Leon.
Yeah, well done, Leon.
Also,
Well done.
well done to a couple of teams. We'll touch on these in Europe. Brest qualifying for the Champions League for the first time ever.
Amazing. Amazing. I think it's just, I don't know, like this. And shout out to Parma winning the league and being promoted back into Serie A.
Yeah, exactly.
And Como with under Fabregas coming up as well. That'll be quite nice to see in Serie A this season.
Yeah,
next season. Sorry.
No, it'd be good. It'd be good, like seeing a few of these. And yeah, there's quite a few teams that qualified for the Champions League this year that you wouldn't expect.
Villa,
Aston Villa, Bologna.
Yeah, that was massive.
Brest, obviously, we touched on. We touched some Brests, so yeah.
Yeah, we do touch on Brest.
Stuttgart finishing second in the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich probably having their worst season ever after signing Harry Kane.
Do you know what it is, right? Speaking of which, right, let's go into that.
Oh, and Girona. No, we're not before I was going to... Girona. Well done, Girona.
Yeah, Girona. Like, I mean, yeah.
Man
that's
City
probably one of the best.
Reserves.
Like, look at the team, like, the team that they've had. And, I mean, they've got that Savio guy who... I think he went to Sevilla. Or not Sevilla. He was somewhere, but then he never kicked the ball for them and went straight to Girona. But what I wanted to say is, like, you look at their team and it's, like, full of, like, people who played in the Championship and stuff. Like, Stuani. Like, he's getting a game for Girona. Like
Stuani, he was playing. He was at Stoke, was he? I want to say.
He's at Borough.
No,
yeah, I'm sure he was at Borough.
That was it. Yeah, Borough, and he was crap, wasn't he?
Like mediocre. Like, no, I wouldn't say like amazing, but like you think, fucking hell. It just seems like a team of like it's like the Renford rejects from Nickelodeon, like a bunch of players from everywhere. Well, yeah. But one thing I wanted to say, just on like when you mentioned Bayern, right? It's an easy joke to make, but like. And they're saying, "Oh, Harry Kane's like, what the fuck is he meant to do? The guy scored like 30, nearly 40 goals this season.
He's the top goal scorer in Europe.
It's like, what's he meant to do? Like, what's he got?
I think the problem with Bayern is that Leverkusen and Stuttgart have had fucking amazing seasons. That is it, and it just happened to coincide with Harry Kane. But
invincible.
Yeah, exactly, and like. Yeah, Leverkusen have had an invincible season, and Stuttgart have come out of nowhere and had a fucking great season as well. Considering they were in Bundesliga 2 like 3 or 4 years ago or something like that. So
yeah, pretty much.
So like to finish second is nuts. Thing is I haven't watched much of Bayern this year, but have they changed the way they played to fit Harry Kane into the team?
I suppose that's an argument. Like, but. Bayern, what they signed, similar to like, I mean, I'm not comparing Everton and Bayern as like levels. I know I'm not, like before I sound like an absolute retard.
In the 80s.
Yeah, no, but like you remember when what you call them went there,
Norwich,
Koeman, and they signed like 4 number 10s. They had Rooney, Klassen, and a few others, and it was like, how do you put them into the same team? Whereas Bayern seemed to do the same thing because they had a bunch of wingers that, like, with like Mane and Sane, and the rest of them, and then didn't have a striker, and they were crying out for a striker. They went and got the best striker in the world, who's come and done the business, and then for some reason it's just not worked because. I don't know. I think Bayern's a weird thing. The fact that Vincent Kompany is likely to become their next manager kind of shows there's alarm bells for Bayern.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, he's fallen upwards, hasn't he? But then, like,
feeling upwards, isn't he?
Like, fallen upwards. Yeah. Do you think it's another thing of like we're just quickly on Bayern again? But like, do you think it's another thing like we saw with Tuchel when he was at Chelsea? He got bored. You could tell he got bored, and then he knew he was going to leave, and he just thought, fuck it, I just don't care anymore. And he sort of down tools to the point that he was just throwing on any fucking team. Maybe he's doing that with Bayern. I don't know.
I mean, to be fair though, I think he was kept there for the Champions League, wasn't he? And they were so unlucky for Madrid. Like, let's face it, they were robbed.
Jam bags though, weren't they, in the Champions League?
The Bayern were robbed, but like.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That
referee, his Real Madrid shirt got in the way of his eyes. I bet a flag. Like, no, you just let it play on. Like, how that hasn't been picked up. Like,
I just think with Tuchel or Tuchel, whatever you want to say, like he falls out with every club that he goes to. He fell out with the Dortmund board. He's fell out with the Bayern board. He's fell out with the Chelsea board, which I suppose is a little. You can maybe give him a little bit of leeway there because of how that happened, because there was new ownership there. But I don't know. I don't know if I rate him or not. I don't know.
When he's
I don't know. I think he's too arrogant to handle.
He's quite good when he actually cares. I think he's quite good, but he's like a spoilt child.
Yeah.
If he has a bad conversation with the owner, he'll just go and have a huff for like the rest of the season. Just go, oh, I picked the team, so I'm gonna put Neuer up front. It's like, no, mate. I think
it's not how it works.
Like letting Nagelsmann go, to be honest, but yeah.
Well, there was rumours that he was struggling initially with Germany, wasn't he? Because they had a couple of bad results when he first took over, and he's kind of steadied the ship a bit. And I think they're performing again. I think I would put them as one of the outsiders for the tournament,
which we'll come on to. Yeah,
we will do. Nice little segue, but I think the timing was just off because I think he was obviously like touted for other roles, like Spurs, I think it was at the time, and then he left Bayern, and then things didn't really pan out. So I think Bayern's first choice was gone, and that he just ended up as the German national coach, and Tuchel then left Chelsea, and he just ended up to be the Bayern coach. And it's been a mad season, really, like across the board. There's been some really weird turn of events, like Klopp leaving. Like I didn't think that was like common knowledge, maybe to like the general public expecting that. And then obviously Man United being as bad they are, then Bayern being as bad as they have been, Inter running away with the league, Allegri being brought back and then sacked in the same fashion again. Like it's like a mad soap opera of a year for football. But just to bring us back, well, I won't dive into a break. I think we'll just do this pod in two halves, Matt, because we're cooking, we're flying now, mate. To bring us back down to the real football, I don't know if you watched them, but what did you make of the playoff finals that we've seen? So creepy Crawley.
Fair play to Crawley. I think like we said this in the last one, didn't we? We said like they've completely shocked us, and I think they've shocked most people. If most people said to you, it's like Stevenage doing well in League One. Most people said Crawley probably going to get relegated because it's an absolute. No one knows what's going on at that club, like at all. And to get to the playoffs, we thought, well, they're going to get dicked. They didn't get dicked, and then they ended up winning them. And you're just thinking, well, next season then. When we come to predictions for next season, so a couple of months' time, are we going to put Crawley last in League One?
No, I'm not.
I'm going to put them, I reckon, like mid-table or something silly like that. Like, if they pull on this momentum, I think their squad and their budget is going to be the lowest in League One.
Has to be.
By a long way. Well, maybe Stevenage as well. I think Stevenage way punched above their weight this year.
What about the
manager? And I think... That was only because of the manager. As soon as they lost him, they started dropping, didn't they? But like, I think. What about
though they've got the EFL's broadcasting rights? Obviously, that money's going to be. I don't know if that lands this season or if it's later on.
I don't know when that lands, but I mean,
that's obviously going to be helpful.
It's going to be a boost for all the teams, isn't it? Though, so it's going to boost all of us, including our teams. But like, it's going to boost us all. So. Is it going to make much of a difference to Crawley being in League One? But I think fair play to them. They've turned it on in the playoffs, haven't they? Properly turned it on.
Yeah, absolutely. They were great.
They looked like they had lost before they started. I think so. Like,
it's weird because, like, in fairness, like not to just brush past Crawley's achievements. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just brushing past it because I think it is really good, like you say. I'm looking at the dates of the games and things, but when I look at the League One playoffs, I think every man and the dog were thinking Bolton were going to win. Yep. Maybe not run away with it, but we'd expect Bolton to win. But then Bolton just did not turn up. It was like shockingly bad. They just. I didn't want to even say they ran out of steam because, like, obviously they were comfortable over the two legs, and then, I mean, they did have a little bit of a wobble, but they were always in charge of the semis. But then when it came to the final, I watched the full game, and Murphy, he took his goals well, but like Bolton just they didn't look like they were going to have a shot. It was just so bad. Oxford were good. Don't get us wrong.
Well,
like Oxford turned up and played well, but like Bolton were just so bad. They looked shell shocked. They just didn't know what to do.
Maybe it was the whole event, the whole thing of being at Wembley. Oxford have been at Wembley and played at Wembley before. This Oxford team, they tend to lose. So like, maybe they're like trying to right a wrong. Bolton, when was the last time they played at Wembley? I don't think some of these players might have ever played there.
No, I think I remember the commentator saying, I can't remember it exactly, which is of no excitement for the podcast, but the commentator said something like, it's not the first time. So it might have been Crewe and Crawley that they were referring to, but it's not the first time at Wembley the teams have met, and the team that hadn't won in the season had failed to won the final. Saying like, so obviously that season Bolton beat them 4-5-0 and then drew 0-0 or 1-1, and then obviously Oxford just turned up and were like, got your number, beat you 2-0. It was so comfortable. So comfortable.
Murphy could have had more than 2 goals as well. There was plenty of times where he's through.
He had the header at the back post and
the pace on him. He's through on goal, and you just think, how the fuck have Bolton just shat themselves pretty much, haven't they?
Yeah, it was just like Ian Everett came out afterwards and he said he didn't recognise the team, and it's like, that's not what you want to be coming out and saying after a playoff final. You kind of want to like just say, look. Yeah, fair play to Oxford. We'll come back harder next season. But he just seemed like really just like out of ideas himself. It was like a bit depleted.
You think of like the stats and stuff. So Bolton had most possession, which would you somewhat expect. Oxford are quite a good possession side as well, but Bolton did nothing with it. So you had 5 shots, 0 on target.
I know.
Oxford had 9 shots, 5 on target.
There was no question who the winner was. Like it's not like a smash and grab. It was just.
It was comfortable, weren't it?
I was really shocked. And I think if you fair play to Oxford, like, and it brought to life the thing. If it is true about Birmingham now, Birmingham's theatre club being in the league above them, it's like
that will not happen now. No way.
It can't now, surely.
No.
It could be. It could have been bullshit, like, but even still.
If they're going to pick out a feeder club, I don't know why they would pick out Oxford United when they're competitive with one another. If Birmingham was going to go for a feeder club in that sense of the word, which isn't really a thing that happens in English football anyway, they'll go for someone like Solihull Moors because it's.
But these American, I don't know, it's the American ownership though that
they just don't understand how it works. Like, but yeah,
that's true.
How do you think Oxford are doing in the Championship? I think I don't know, to be honest. I think
again, just on the face of it, I think they're probably they've got it about them. But I'd expect them to be maybe in that fraction of between the bottom teams. I don't think they'll finish bottom, just on the face of it now. But from bottom to say like 16th-ish.
16th, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Just because they play good football, I think Brannigan, their main man's like a Barry Bannon type, like he dictates it. And I think in the Championship, you've got a bit more time on the ball. It's more competitive, but it's like getting the higher up the leagues you go, those kind of players make more of a difference.
Yeah. But Brannigan's a good player as well. Like, to be fair,
yeah, he's good. He's been a servant to them. Like, to be fair,
so my local team are now playing my team, so I might. And the good thing is, Danny Roll has just signed a contract extension today.
Oh, has he?
He has, yes.
Oh well, that's good. No, in fairness, that's really good news. Like, and for him as well, just because like he could have looked at the Norwich job, and like, I mean, maybe us, but I don't think it was ever really serious. But I think he could have looked at the Norwich job, and I think he probably would have been a contender there. but I'm glad he's staying there because he's worked hard. He's brought the team through and having a full season and a summer like training camp, summer window. Could be an exciting summer for you guys. Like, to be fair.
Yeah, I think like we've got. If he's given like the backing behind him, I think he'll be pretty good. Also, we'll get to see him on telly this year. Like, what not to like? He's on the
Over
ITV
the Euros,
panel thing
yeah.
for the Euros, which is bizarre. But
He's strapped for cash. That's why, isn't he? He got a shit deal when he signed.
Maybe he's fundraising to get some signings in. Like,
yeah, maybe.
To Chazir and he says, if you go on ITV, all your earnings go towards players you can buy.
Yeah.
Or he's doing a scouting job. I don't know, but like, maybe. Yeah, it's rumored to be 3-year contract as well. So to tie him down on that is actually quite good. So if there's anyone comes in now, they're going to have to pay a bit of money to get him.
Well, it was apparently, wasn't it going to be like 5 million for him and 5 million for his backroom? Like it was maybe way overinflating those, but it might have been 2 million for him and 2 million for his backroom staff. I knew it was like the same amount for him as it was his backroom team. But mate, no, that's really good news. I'm really, really happy for you. We still haven't got a manager. And one of the guys who was leading the race, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Farao or something, is now the new Ajax coach. I don't know how you pronounce it. Farioli. Yeah, so we were linked with him, and apparently we had an interview with him when
he was the manager at Nice.
Yeah, assistant money.
It says taken over at Nice.
I think he was an assistant and took over, but yeah, so he's now Ajax coach. The other guy is Will Still, obviously, but he's meant to be linked with Norwich now. I don't know. I think if he was going to be our manager, we would have done it by now, but Christ knows. I think we're probably going to end up with Rosenier, which is a bit uninspiring again, but hey-ho. We'll see what happens. But the final thing, just before we go for a quick short break, as we like to say, Championship playoff finals, what a fucking second leg they were.
Oh, yeah.
3-1 and 4-0, was it?
Yeah,
like
KG first.
I did say, like, if I was looking at the games coming away from that, I did think West Brom could have done something against Southampton, and Norwich potentially could have done something at Leeds over 2 legs, but it was dependent on them winning the first one.
Yeah.
Norwich was so shit. They were horrendous. Like, Leeds turned it on, don't get me wrong, and I think Leeds on paper the stronger of the two, but I can't believe how badly it went, because we said, like I said, we both mentioned it last week, when you don't want to be a team going 0-0 to Ellen Road and to St Mary's. Like, maybe not so much St Mary's, I don't think the crowd's too leery, but definitely Ellen Road. Ellen Road looked amazing. It, like, the scarce, the atmosphere, you could just see it was like absolutely
like a cauldron, I think sometimes.
Absolutely.
It's a cauldron, yeah.
They are Premier League, though. Like, they are a Premier League team. They've got too much history.
You can only have 20 teams in the Premier League, innit? So, like,
I know. But like, if you're a purist of football, as much as everybody hates Leeds,
because Leeds have had the history. They won the first division before it was called the Premier League, literally the year before.
So, non-ready.
Yeah.
But you get, like, I mean, you have to be there on merit. Every team's there on merit. Yeah, but I just feel like Leeds could bottle it, but the thing is, I just think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a ultra high scoring game.
It'll be a cagey one, I would have thought.
KG is out, and I think Leeds beat them because Southampton can't defend. They're so vulnerable for conceding goals.
If Leeds turn up with what they can do attacking wise, I think they'll beat Southampton. It depends what Leeds turn up.
It does depend. I think also, I don't know. Like, Farker's been there before, hasn't he? So he's got the experience. He's got the experience of going up and being promoted. He's got the experience of big occasions. He's got experience in the Prem, whether it's successful or not. He's still got that. So I just think, I don't know. And I think Russell Martin, I just think I went through a phase of hating him. I still really do, really. But then he said that thing about Rishi Sunak, and I kind of was like, I like him. But then I just don't like the way he goes on. It's like every time something happens with a ref, it's like I don't know, he's in the face and stuff, and I think he thinks he's Premier League as well. I think I think him in the Premier League will just be insufferable.
Yeah, he can be a bit of a melt, can't he? Like, I think that's the main way to describe him.
So what we saying? Leeds?
Leeds, yeah, for me.
Leeds. And that could be really bad news for Southampton, like, because
they'll get asset stripped, as you would call it. Next season they'll lose a lot of players. I also think they rely on them being promoted, don't they? So,
and the final thing I will say for before we go for a break is how, because of the way the parachute payments work, if Leeds go up, the Premier League saves 200 million in parachute payments, which will then be distributed to the Premier League teams because they haven't had to pay those teams for being relegated. So I did not know that.
All the Premier League teams are going to be wanting Leeds to be promoted then.
Yeah. And then the new rule of the lowest budget plus, what's it, times 4, isn't it? So the lowest running budget. So what's the lowest running budget if they're getting 100 million for being promoted? Like 400 million. So what's City spend anyway? So it's like, it's just stupid.
Is that budget as in like their spending power?
Like their revenues. So it'll be like TV and stuff like that.
Look at Premier League revenues, like.
Check out.
Yeah, let's have a look. Annual on Deloitte. Eyebrow websites.
Here we go.
Guys just told me the fucking league's revenue. Oh, here we go. Burnley, the lowest.
They're relegated now, aren't they? So it doesn't make a difference.
Oh, because it's only showing the fucking revenue from 21-22. Brentford. Let's give it an idea then. So Brentford.
Well, let's just say based off of that season, what it would be.
So it would be 125 million. So it's 500 million then.
Well,
what a waste of time that is.
Well,
why don't they just say it is the lowest revenue?
You can only spend 100 million.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, that's fine then.
Because then what happens to their precious product, Matt?
Okay, you do it 1.5 or 0.5 times, 1.5 times the revenue, so you're looking at 160 million. You at least buy one world-class player if you're Man City.
You can, but then what it also means is
the Premier League's product will die. Who gives a shit? Who gives all those people that are rolling around in bags of money. That's what
yeah. All the bribes and backhands that they get. Yeah. But on that note, mate, let's take a quick short break, and when we come back for the second half of the pod, let's do some predictions, lad.
Yeah, let's do some predictions.
We're so good at them, we have to do it again.
I'll give us a little. When we come back, I'll tell us what our points score was for a couple of the leagues because I've been adding them up.
Oh, here we go then. Right, catch us in a bit. And welcome back to Football Bloody Hell.
Bloody hell indeed, mate. Bloody hell.
So, we're back here after that quick short break to go through a couple of things. Yeah. Some Euro predictions and our predictions. Now, this is news to me, listeners, watchers.
This is why I didn't tell you anything. I wanted your
reaction. Shit, so it's going to be really fucking bad, isn't it?
You. To be fair, you've done better than me.
So get up there!
Let's just throw that out there straight away. You've definitely done better than me. So, well done, mate.
But again, that needs caveating though, because you did extra leagues, and if I'd have done those leagues, you'd have wiped the floor with us. I think
I've done points for us for the Premier League and the Championship. So I haven't done League 1, League 2, because those ones are wild off. I did some of my lower ones, so I'll share those as well, just to tell you how inaccurate I was at the lower ones. But yeah, so the idea is to get as little points as possible. So you get points added on for the places different. So for instance, if you said, let's say, I don't know, Chelsea would finish 15th and they finish 6th, you'd get what would that be?
Like 11.
11. No, you 9 points. You'll get 9 points.
Oh yeah, sorry,
so it's the difference between. So if you get someone bang on, you get 0.
0 point.
So let me just. For some reason, I didn't. Chelsea finished 6th, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, I didn't put mine in there. 4. There we go.
Dead air.
Yeah, there we go.
We need some like interval music
for some reason. Okay.
Here we go.
Low point. I think a good average amount of points to get is anything below 100 for for the Premier League. Anything below 100 is good. Anything below 60 is really good. Anything below 40 is exceptional. Right?
Yeah.
And then I will tell you how many you got bang on, and I'll tell you.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Go for it.
So we'll go with you first, mate. So this is the Premier League. You got 52 points.
Hey, oh!
Not bad. Like that is decent, right? Bang on, Man City. You got them finishing first. You got Newcastle bang on.
Yes.
You got Everton bang on.
Hellish.
That's your 3. You got 3 bang on. You had a lot. Because 52 points is really good, you had a lot which are 1 place off.
Oh,
you had a lot 1 place off. So Liverpool, Chelsea, Notts Forest, Sheffield United were all 1 place off.
I've got them the wrong way around in the bottom 3.
Your biggest score, so the one you got wildly wrong, you didn't really have one. Let's put it this way: you were consistent. So these are the ones that. So your biggest score was 5. So 5 was your the most difference, which is actually really good. Like
who was it?
Places. So you got Man United at 5, Spurs, Brentford, Burnley, and Bournemouth. So you actually got 5 teams, 5 places out, but that was your highest score. Okay.
Fair.
So 52.
Come on.
You beat me.
Yeah.
I got 54.
Oh!
my bang-ons, Man City, West Ham, Fulham, and Everton. So I got more bang-on.
More bang-on, but
I had some wild ones. So my highest was 7 places off. That's nearly half.
So that's what's done it.
And that's Bournemouth.
Oh yeah, they went on a run though, didn't they?
Yeah.
They turned it around.
So I had Bournemouth wildly off. My ones were Liverpool and Notts Forest. So I only had 2. I had more bang on. I had 1 more that was wild, but I was only 2 points off you. So that's the Premier League. Do you like doing this? Mate,
this is actually more exciting for the next predictions that we'll do for next season.
The Championship. I will do you first. So congrats, mate. You got more points than me. You got less points than me, so you won out of us 2. But it was marginal.
Oh, okay.
So obviously more teams in the Championship, so we'll revise what good is. So I'd say 100 there's 4 extra teams, so there's potential for an extra if you got 23 places out. Then there's 2, 4, 6. There's about 80 points. Let's say about 40 points is sort of extra, so 10. So 140, 150, not great. Around 100, decent. Anything under 60 is just exceptional.
Yeah.
You got 110.
Okay.
So reasonable.
Decent.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
You bang
room
on.
For improvement.
You ready? Leicester, Leeds, Southampton.
Yeah.
That's your bang-ons.
Yeah. The easiest ones, probably.
Yeah. Do you want to know your 1 places as well?
Give us the worst ones.
The worst one. There's worst there's the worst one, and I think you can guess which one this is. Birmingham.
Oh shit! Yeah,
16
fuck.
points.
Oh yeah, I forgot all
16
about
points Birmingham gave you, mate.
If they didn't hire Rooney though, I would have been bang on.
You would have been bang on. So you put them as 6th. They finished obviously 16 places below that.
Fucking hell.
So yeah, if the other high ones you had Hull City, you got 11 points. Cardiff City, you got 10. I think most people would have got quite high points on Cardiff and Hull.
Yeah.
Which is fair. In terms of your ones, Plymouth Argyle, Rotherham United, Coventry City.
Yeah.
So
Shame.
1 out.
What about you then?
Me, I got 111.
Oh, fucking hell.
Mate,
Like,
the narrowest of margins.
it needs to go to bar.
I know.
Bar, mate.
I only got one team. No, I got 2 teams bang on.
Who?
Plymouth and Rotherham. My worst result was better than your worst result. So
what was your worst?
Hull City was my worst at 11 points. And then I got 2 at 10, which was Birmingham and Cardiff. Funny enough, we all had bad ones there. My ones were West Brom, Swansea, and that's it.
Jesus.
So
actually, if Rooney, the element was taken off, I would have wiped the floor with you, to be fair.
Well, I put Birmingham in the middle of the league, like bang in the middle. So whether they finished up or down, I would have got the same amount of points.
Yeah, that's true.
I was just hoping they finished in the middle.
Fucking Wayne Rooney, man. What a dick.
If Rooney wasn't that bad and just dropped him down to the middle, I would have been quids in, mate.
Yeah, you'd have won.
But yeah, like 110 for you, 111 for me. Reasonable scores. I think our Premier League ones were very good.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's... But I still think there's room for improvement there, obviously, with a couple of... Well, a 7 for me, which is nearly half the fucking league. So, yeah. In terms of, like, lower leagues, I didn't do your scores, mate, but I did some sort of looking around to see where I got some, like, bang-ons, like, near the top of the league.
Yeah.
Chesterfield. Both
nailed
it. National League winners. National League South winners. Yeovil. Nailed that. And then I looked at one league and I thought, I actually did quite well here. And that was the Isthmian Premier League.
Of course it was.
I managed to predict 1st and 2nd place correctly.
Who finished? Who was it?
Hornchurch and Chatham Town.
Oh, fucking hell.
Considering
Good grief.
Chatham Town were just promoted to that league this season. And I put them 2nd and got it right.
Yeah, you wasted in your line of work. You wasted.
That's the only reason I put them at the top. The thing is, though, in that league as well, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones.
That's really good.
Which is nuts.
Yeah, it's really good.
So yeah,
like I said, mate, you're wasting your line of work. You need to drop down into the Isthmian Premier League as a scout.
Fuck it.
You'd be director of football by the sounds of things.
Yeah.
You've got the league wrapped up in knowing who's got what.
I wonder what the odds are for getting 1st and 2nd in the Isthmian Premier League at the start of the season. I don't want to look, to be honest, because I'll be crying.
I know, don't upset yourself.
Win. But
there's no worse than looking at people's odds and stuff.
That's great. So yeah, we'll do that again next season. Next season will be more. We'll spend a bit of time doing our predictions, I think, and we did them early last year. I think we should do them probably around, let's say, what?
Well, we need to have a little bit of an indication of the summer window for sure. Because this
kicks off in August, though, so we want to do it before the league start.
July.
End of July, then.
End of July, as close as we can to the season.
End of July, we'll do our predictions for next season.
And then we get one episode in the season after the January window where we can adjust a couple of teams.
Yeah.
We'll think of the rules.
Yeah,
we'll think of the rules
because we got a points thing here. We'll record our points from this season, see if we can better them. I think we've done really well in the Premier League, so I'm not sure. That's quite difficult to beat, I think. 52.
Yeah, that's low.
Score. But then I think we can do better in the championship. But then that's again the nature of the championship is how wild it is.
It's because it's the problem with that is you can kind of pick a top 6-ish. You can normally pick a bottom 3.
Yeah.
But that gap between like 8th down to 16th is just mind blowing. But we'll do that in the next series because we'll do it in the next series. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to look at Group A to F and pick the winner and runner up of each one. I know we can do the third playoff, but just in the interest of keeping this light, I think we'll do the top 2. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do the top. Are we going through to the end so you know our winner of the tournament is or not?
Well, we could just say that now. Well, we'll do the groups and then we'll say the winner at the end, right?
Cool. Yeah. All right.
So, do you want to take the first group?
Yeah.
Or do you want
we'll
me?
do this together. So it's going to be the FBH Pod's prediction of the Euros. You're giving me a group that's quite hairy. Thanks.
Well,
actually,
looking at this, right?
Group B, like, if you're doing Group B, it's fine. I can do Group A, right?
Yeah. Well, looking at Group A, you've got Germany, Scotland, Hungary, and Switzerland.
Yeah,
and I think I'm backing Germany to win that, and I would say.
So I put Germany as first. Now the difficult one is the second place. I think it'll be a toss-up between Hungary and Switzerland. Not dissing Scotland, but I think Scotland won a big tournament for the first time in a while.
See, I fancy Scotland, you know.
Very, very good. Very good. I wouldn't be surprised if Scotland did sneak through to the knockout round, but in third place.
Third place.
But then Hungary have been playing very well recently, and I just think they got potential to beat Germany, so they could even win the group. But I'm not going to go with that. I was going to go Germany, Hungary, Scotland, Switzerland. Switzerland are a bit of that team sort of. They could draw every game in this group and still go through.
I'll go with that one. So we've got Germany to win it and Hungary to come second.
Yeah.
So Group B.
Yeah.
We have. Well, going through it, it's a tough group.
Spain, Croatia, Italy, and poor old Albania.
Yeah, Albania's fourth, right?
In qualifying, they were fantastic, but I think this is a step too far.
So personally, I think Spain win the group.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, it's a toss-up between Croatia and Italy, obviously, but I just think, I don't know. I know they're an aging squad, and Modric is like
they got somehow managed in Croatia. They come clutch.
They just seem to do it. They seem to grind it out. So I would go with Croatia because Italy's a young team. They've got really good talent, but I just think Croatia cannot see past them.
I think experience at tournaments might play a bit of a part in that group,
and
I think that's where Croatia might just nick it. In terms of Italy, so we're going with them finishing third. I heard a good opinion on this, and I said, and people have said, because obviously with this, the best 4-place third teams also qualify for the knockout round.
Yeah.
Someone has said because it's quite a tough group, and then potentially each team's going to take a lot of points off each other. Potentially Italy might not qualify because they might not get enough points.
True.
Because if there's a lot of draws, they'll have less points than maybe some other third-place teams.
And you'd expect everybody to beat Albania, so it's not going to be like they're going to claw.
Well, you don't know with the way Albania were playing in the qualifying. But if they take that form into the Euros, then great.
True.
But then again, they're at a tournament. They're completely inexperienced. Usually, what happens to those teams, they get dicked 3 times, don't they? So you don't know.
So then. Our group, in Group C, Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia, England. Personally, I think it'll be us who win the group.
Yep.
And I think it'll be a toss-up between Slovenia and Serbia. I don't think Denmark...
I agree with you there, because I think Slovenia have been playing quite well. Serbia are in a bit of form, and I just think Denmark are on a bit of a downward slide at the moment, aren't they?
Not a lot there, but I'll let you go with who comes second in our group because I just can't see between Slovenia and Serbia.
I put Serbia in there.
Okay, Serbia and then Slovenia third.
Mitrovic goals to push them through.
Group D, we have Netherlands, Austria, France, and Poland.
So, shall I do this one? I think
Yeah.
this one's quite straightforward. France, Netherlands, Austria, Poland.
Yeah.
Austria have been in quite good form coming into this as well, and they qualified really well. But again, it's the first time that this group of players have gone to a tournament. Poland inevitably are shit when it comes to tournaments. They qualify quite well. They get to the tournament, shit themselves. And is Lewandowski done now? Because I think is this his last one?
Must be. If
or
it's not,
was his last one the World Cup?
I don't know. I don't know if he's still on, but
yeah, either way, Poland shit themselves when it comes to tournaments, so I'm putting them last. And Austria are in good form. Netherlands second. They got a decent team. They're not amazing, but they're half decent. France are going to win that group.
Yeah, 100%.
I think.
Group E, we have Belgium, Slovakia. No, who's
Slovakia,
it? Slovakia. Yeah, I was right. Sorry, I thought I already said it was Slovenia. So Belgium, Slovakia, Romania, Ukraine. Personally, I think it'll be Belgium who wins the group. Ukraine comes second, Slovakia third, and Romania fourth.
I think that's fair. I think, to be honest, you could probably mix the second to fourth in any order.
Yeah, I think Ukraine's got, like, when we played them, obviously they've beaten us previously. I just think, looking at the teams, like I know Dennis Mann from Romania just because he plays for Parma and a couple of other players, but look at it, I'd probably say maybe Romania did need something special, but I just see Belgium as being strong. Like, I know that their team's not the team that the golden age is kind of gone, but then you've got Doku and other young players coming through now, mate. Yeah. I just think they should win that group, really. It'd be disappointing if they didn't, but then I just think there's more about Ukraine, plus I've seen them play more than I have any of the other teams. That's the only reason I'm basing it off that.
Slovakia are a solid team. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they went through in third place. Or Romania. Like, Romania, thing is though, again, we're talking about teams coming into a major tournament, having to go away, be at a training camp, do all that stuff, and this Romanian team haven't done that before.
Very true.
So that's where you see these teams sort of slip up a little bit. If they're a young team coming into this, they're either going to smash it away, or they're going to be inexperienced because they're at a tournament and they're not used to it.
And then, looking at this, the final group for Group F, Portugal, Turkey, you take this one. Turkey, Georgia, Portugal, Czech Republic.
So I'm going to say Portugal probably win this group. Not that anyone likes them, but they're going to win the group. I'm going to go with Czech Republic second, Turkey third, Georgia fourth. Only because I think Czech Republic have coming into it in decent form as well. Again, that same question comes over them, the same as Romania, Albania, like Austria. Though you know, their players are new to this experience, but because they haven't been there for a while. But the group they're in, I think, lends it to them a little bit. Turkey inevitably are bottle jobs when it comes to major tournaments. They could beat Germany 5-0 in a warm-up game and then lose the first games 3-0 to Georgia. Literally they could do that. Georgia, on the other hand, a complete wild card. They were awful in qualifying, and they qualified due to the fact that they finished decently in the Nations League, got into a playoff, and then beat Greece.
Yeah.
So they've got one decent player we know of. Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah, Kvaratskhelia.
So it'd be good to see Georgia there, but I don't think they'll do particularly well because they've qualified through a route that isn't your traditional qualifying. If that makes they had sort of a lifeline through the Nations League.
But I think looking at that, that's probably solid groups. Then rather than kind of go through all of the matchups and who's in the last 16s and quarters and final, we'll go for who you see winning the tournament. And I've got a bit of a wild card.
Yeah.
But there's an obvious winner for me.
France.
Look, man! England! Nah, France, yeah, 100%.
Mate,
They're too good.
France.
They are the levels, and I know like the World Cup and stuff in Argentina and that, but France were like they've got so much talent. They've been here before. If they turn up, they win this tournament, regardless of what people are saying about England. However, as much as we're saying about what always happens at these tournaments is big teams bottle it on the first game, and then they kind of like either kicks them out of the league or kicks them out of the tournament really quickly, or it kind of turns them on, as we're seeing from Argentina in the World Cup. However, I don't know what I'm basing this off, because every time I've seen them play, he's been crap and Liao, and that should be a big giveaway, because I wouldn't mind an outside shot of Portugal.
Yeah, I don't know. Portugal.
I just think they've got big players. They've got Ronaldo. They've got Bernardo Silva, Leao, Fernandez. They've got a decent defence.
Thing is, with Portugal, I think they get. There's certain times they'll get. I think it was the last Euro, all the Euros before. I think the one where they won it, they finished third in their group by drawing all 3 games and then ended up winning. I don't think they actually won a game in 90 minutes until the final. So, I mean, yeah,
I don't know. Like I say, I mean, there's probably some more qualified teams in it, but I don't know. There's something about Portugal where you don't know. You just don't know.
When you're doing these predictions as well, there's always going to be one team that surprises you, like massively surprises you. And I think I don't know if I could pick them out.
It's just because it's so. It's like what we did with the.
Or would be a massive surprise for everyone, but I don't know.
I think if we win it, it'd be a big surprise, regardless of people saying we're favourites. But like, I don't know. I think we get to the quarters. I think we get the quarters.
Yeah,
same as always.
I've just quickly gone through the matchups of who I think, and I got us going out in the quarters to Croatia.
That's funny. I've got us in the last 16 of Austria, but then I'm going to go through these based off of mine, and let's see who we go out to.
Did you do your third place ranking of then?
I did Italy top, Scotland second, Austria third, Slovenia, Slovakia, Turkey, and then.
Oh yeah, I had Italy in 4th.
Oh Christ! If that does go the way I planned it, we would play Croatia, and I definitely see us losing to Croatia.
Yeah, that's what I had. Yeah. I had Italy in 4th, only because I think that points in that group is going to be a bit iffy for finishing 3rd. But yeah, I had Slovakia, Scotland, Austria, Italy. So
well, if I work it for very quickly from the way, because I know I said we weren't going to do it. However, I'll just say if we go into the quarterfinals and the teams that I think based off of those predictions, I think it would be Germany, Spain, and I pick Spain. And because I'm saying Portugal are outsiders, Portugal beat Netherlands, France beat Italy, Croatia beat us, France beat Croatia, Portugal beat Spain, and it's a Portugal-France final.
So I had Germany, France in the final.
Well, it would have been Germany if mine, because I clicked Germany to go against Spain.
So the only reason I think Germany, will get there because they're at home.
True.
Really well.
I just think because of the way they performed in under, I can never pronounce his name. Is it Nagelsmann? I can't say it. Nagelsmann, sorry. The way they performed under him when he first took over, they really struggled, and they've only started coming back. So I think the nation being on the back might jeopardise them rather than push them.
I've still got them losing to France.
I
can't see anyone but France winning this. But then France might not turn up. You never know. France might literally get knocked out in their group.
So this has been sponsored by. So this has been
Telegraph.
Held within the Telegraph, and I don't know out of how many people. However, I've selected France to win it. I know I've said Portugal, but in the final, I really think France are going to win. And the top 3 most predicted ones, and it's obviously we're going to be in there, but it's interesting because 24% of readers have said France will win. 22% of readers have said that England will do it, but then the third favourite to do it, with 14% of the readers say this, is Germany. Which, I don't know. But there we go, mate.
That's the playing at home bias sort of thing.
Probably. However, though, you've seen how good we are at predicting these things, so put all your money on a Portugal-France final.
Or Germany, France, in my
Or
opinion.
Germany.
Yeah.
Or Germany, yes. But if they're going to listen to the points, the most pointless...
The difference
me,
of
mate.
3
I hate to break it to you.
that we had across 2 leagues.
Oh, God. But here we are, mate.
Championship one, when I was adding it up, I did yours first, and I was just like adding it up, and when I was adding mine up, I was just like, yeah, 1. 1 point difference.
How many times did you go back and count and say there's got to be something wrong here?
No, I did a sum on Excel, so I can't even argue with it.
Excel never lies. We know this.
I can't even argue.
But mate, here we are. Here we are on our first anniversary as a podcast, and we're telling people the winners. Like, it's a banker. We've told them France are going to win it. Put your mortgage on it.
Let's put it this way: both of us said who got right who would win the Premier League. I mean, it's not hard, but we both got it correct. Also, I got first and second in the Isthmian Premier, so you have to listen to me.
On that note, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure. Happy birthday to the Football Bloody Pod. And we'll catch you again next week. Thanks very much.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.